Sit down, breathe, and use common sense. Why, despite misfires and audience fatigue, do Harry and Meghan still have a live deal with Netflix? The answer industry sources are increasingly whispering is blunt and prosaic, not because of lifestyle shows or branded jams, but for one single super event, a documentary tied to the 30th anniversary of Princess Diana's death. For the platform, that's not just another release, it's a calendar anchor around which you can build an entire funnel of attention: companion specials, satellite podcasts, synchronized rollouts in Europe and the US, education partnerships with charities. Translated from sentiment to spreadsheets, a rare case where the content promises not a couple weeks in the top 10, but sustained, seasonal respiration. Big streamers think coldly. If projects bring scant viewing and short resonance, they're shuttered. But a different math applies here. The only son of Diana speaking in the first person in a Jubilee year is not another doc, it's a cultural moment. Platforms pre-build scaffolding for moments like this, reserve ad inventory, negotiate archival exclusives, line up press partnerships. If tolerating middling numbers from adjacent projects is the price of that super event, those are costs one blockbuster can cover. That's the economy of attention at work. Now, the fine edge: is it possible to make an honest film about Diana without reopening family wounds? Older viewers know, almost impossible. Diana's story is not only compassion and handshakes, it's also marriage, rupture, the name Camilla, and painful pages hidden under etiquette's lacquer for decades. Any honest film will necessarily step beyond candles and roses to the live nerve where tone is everything. If it's a calm, measured son speaking about his mother, audiences will accept it. If the tone slides into score settling, even flawless craft won't mask the feeling of ratings over reverence. Why is Netflix fixated on the 2027 window? Because an anniversary is easy to package into a broad civic agenda: TV retrospectives, museum exhibits, magazine specials, online courses about 90s media and ethics. It's one of those rare alignments where a platform can be more than a screening room. It can coordinate the memory moment, and in doing so claim leadership in the public conversation. In such cases, a streamer banks not only hours watched, but symbolic capital. The version people remember seeing was on their service. This leaves the couple with a serious lever. Any surrounding ideas, holiday one-offs, cozy kitchen formats, even book projects, become easier to lash to the main trump card. Yes, those will come, but you understand the entire architecture exists for one thing. The price of missteps, however, rises. One glancing line about the king's health, one barbed aside about a brother, and the future film risks being perceived not as a conversation of memory, but another round of settling scores. The older demographic is acutely sensitive to that switch. When tragedy is used as leverage, trust evaporates faster than numbers on a graph. What would the right dramaturgy look like if the project happens? Start with atmosphere, not accusations. Archival footage, Diana's charity work, the voices of those who labored beside her: nurses, doctors, volunteers. The middle, not sensations, but the human cost of fame, press pressure, loneliness, the struggle to remain oneself inside protocol. Then a sober passage through the hard parts without gaudy signage: marriage, separation, mistakes on both sides, lessons that matter now. The ending, not a panegyric, a quiet plea: continue her work, not with hashtags but with concrete acts. No one would label such a film an attack on the family. But to get there, the makers must forego easy hot chapters and quick news cycle wins. There's a legal layer too. Rights clearances, archival deals, agreements with trusts for whom Diana's name is not decor. Netflix has formidable cleanup teams, lawyers and editors who can build guardrails so no line turns into a lawsuit vortex. But even perfect legal framing won't replace the essential thing: authorial tone. Responsibility will inevitably rest on the person whose name becomes the key to the archives. A platform can ask for a point of view. But point of view slips into angle of attack the second emotion takes the wheel. The British dimension won't vanish. Any carelessness with private meetings means another headline, another coil of the spiral. If reconciliation is serious, the best strategy is silence. Not friends of the family leaks, not corrections in interviews, but simple, intelligible deeds: arriving without cameras, saying goodbye without a protocol show, helping without a press release. That restraint will shape how the future film is read. It can move from politics to remembrance, and those are two very different levels of trust. Production logic matters as well. Large documentaries at this scale run 12 to 18 months. Deep research, rights clearing, tracking down rare witnesses, rough cut and fine cut, test screenings with 45+ focus groups. Successful films always test with the older cohort. It calibrates tone on people who remember 1997 not by social clips but by the ache of evening news. They have zero tolerance for directorial fidgeting and viral gimmicks. They want accuracy, pauses, respect. If the creators honor that tempo, the odds of landing it right rise dramatically. What should the couple do until the date? The wisest line is to stop living by announcements. Any coy "we've got something special" coming only warms skepticism. The 50+ demo responds far better to a different dramaturgy. You showed up, did the work, and only then spoke about it, quietly, without fanfare. That's how trust and a grown-up's room reputation are built, where no one argues about ratings because they're busy doing the work. A word on memory as an asset. It sounds coolly transactional, but in media memory always becomes a resource. The only question is stewardship. You can convert it into quiet, durable commitments, scholarships for nurses, rehab programs, stewardship of projects Diana began. Or into yet another flare of loud headlines. The first path is heavy and unglamorous, but it restores respect. The second offers a quick win and a long tail of resentment. That choice isn't about PR, it's about adulthood. There are also 3 very practical rules older viewers apply instinctively. First, no prefaces about relatives' health in public, that's taboo. Second, if you say truth matters more than peace, be prepared to bear the cost of that formula, weigh every detail, and remember that truth without compassion becomes a cold dossier. Third, if you invite the audience into memory, don't drag them into a clash of versions, give them footing in facts and gentle human voices trusted without lower thirds. Why does this matter now? Because the window of trust closes fast. Audiences are weary of grand declarations and empty gestures. But when the subject is Diana, even skeptics listen more closely. It's a rare opening to change how you're seen, not to justify, but to grow. Or to cement yourselves in a niche of perpetual conflict. Take it from the 50+, over distance, the winners aren't the loudest, they're the most composed. Where does Netflix sit in this picture? At its usual arm's length. The platform will supply top archivists, meticulous editors, an international release, and marketing without shouting, because this isn't a hype premiere but delicate work with collective memory. Yet no streamer can provide what makes a film feel alive, the personal, human timbre of the central narrator. No budget or algorithm can fix that. Only inner discipline can. Don't overdo, don't top up with the easy sensational, don't yield to sugar highs. Let's name it plainly. The couple seems to be kept afloat chiefly because of a potential Diana film. For the platform, it's the opportunity of the decade. For Harry, it's an exam you don't pass with big talk about truth, but with quiet precision, respect for those who can no longer answer back, and the wisdom to place a comma where others expect an exclamation mark. If, on premiere day, we see not a sensational cut but a calm, grateful work, it will mean the lessons of recent years were heard. If not, no ratings will drown out that dry sigh echoing through older households. What a pity. Meanwhile, the soundest advice: fewer words, more craft. Remember that the anniversary will pass, and the aftertaste will remain. Let it come not from gloss and noise, but from human warmth, the very warmth for which Diana was loved, and is still remembered. Only then will the deal, the image, and the family bridges align not out of calculation, but out of respect. And in this case, respect is worth more than any super event.